Welcome to KetchupCast. I'm Anthony.
I'm PJ.
I'm Mike.
And welcome to KetchupCast. Fuck that.
The silence was for Marco. It's in memory of him. He's at work still.
Yeah, he's still at work. Unfortunately, he's not allowed to leave the dungeon until his vacation day. How long has he worked there? A year? Not even? Like 6 months? Yeah, so about 60
September.
to 62 years he'll be released from his imprisonment.
Yeah, at the time of recording this, we just recorded our episode 0, which is basically an introduction episode. If you go ahead and listen to that before listening to this.
You don't know who we are.
Yeah, to know who we are. We're not strangers.
You know all our friends probably listen to this right now.
Well, we don't want to repeat ourselves. You get the intros out of the way sooner. Because I for one, don't like scripted content. I like just natural discussion. And that's what we're trying to move towards instead of just, hello, my name is Michael.
Yeah, it should just be a conversation.
Exactly.
Now, KetchupCast, that's the title of our show.
Where does it come from?
Where does it come from?
Where did it
Someone
go?
wanna explain
Where
that?
did it come from? Nobody knows.
Well, we'll tell you. So, we have 4 people normally on the show. Our 5th friend, Rob.
Who?
Robert Sullivan. Yeah, we don't hear from him often. He's a cool guy. But the joke started from this time went to this burger joint in Harvard Square.
Yeah, we go to a really good place called Tasty Burger in Harvard Square.
It's God's work. Anyway, I was taking a picture of something, I don't know what, and in the shot was Rob, and he had a piece of his burger, but for some reason, it was just doused in ketchup. And it was just like the funniest thing any of us have ever seen.
All right, any Catholics who's been to a baptism before, you know how they dunk the baby? Yeah, imagine they just held the baby under for a couple minutes.
Imagine the baby was a freaking burger. Instead of water, it's ketchup. It just dunk your fucking burger into that ketchup. Holy moly.
No, and then he bit it without any ill effect whatsoever. And then, without hesitation, he goes right back into it again.
And another thing is, I had to finish his burger for him. That was the driest thing ever. So, I mean, yeah, you do need ketchup, but not a freaking tub's worth.
Well, there wasn't enough ketchup on there, obviously, if it was dry. Yeah, but so when we were trying to decide the name for the podcast, we thought it should be like an inside joke or something like what's something that symbolizes us, and what symbolizes us better than ketchup.
Definitely.
Our wonderful logo brought to you by the Squarespace Logo Generator AI, which was very helpful in when I took a screenshot when it asked me for money. So that's probably my favorite part of the production of this, besides spending, I don't know, $50 on microphones for having none of them work.
Duh.
We're using one mic now.
We're just using one mic.
Efficiency.
And here's the thing, it's not even that bad of a mic, it's a Blue Yeti.
Blue Yeti Nano, to be specific.
We sound good, don't we?
That's subjective. I mean, I've heard some real audiophiles. Even Rob himself, who's quite oh, I hate everything that sounds even remotely staticky.
He sounds like Transformer.
Yeah, we play video games together a lot, and it really does break down to Autobots roll out whenever he gets loud.
More than meets the eye.
It's either all of our mics cutting out, or we all sound like robots.
It's actually Anthony's mic that cuts out a lot.
Duh.
And speaking of, Anthony's mic was the only one that worked tonight besides mine, so that's kind of fun.
I'd say Marcos cuts out.
Is it
much more
our
often.
fault or Amazon's fault?
I believe it's
A little
China's
bit-
fault for shipping us these broken microphones, which the corpse of which now lies upon thy ground.
Yeah.
It's my basement.
And currently, though, not currently, in a couple weeks, they'll be on eBay.
Actually, my favorite, speaking of intros, my favorite intro is probably from a YouTuber named Mike B. And his intro every time starts with, "Hi, I'm Mike B, coming at you live from Mommy's basement."
It's my basement. We've spent so many, since middle school, we've spent so many days here. It's so
Lives have been lost, lights have been broken.
Oh, shout out if you listen to this. We're talking about you.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't shout out people.
We just
Oh wow. Say something racist because this part's getting cut out.
Anyway.
Speaking of Mommy's basement, we actually are in the basement right now. And it is technically Mommy's basement, or I'd say Mommy and Daddy's basement.
It's my basement.
My basement.
I
Podcast basement.
Podcast basement. Our original idea was to go to a Staples studio.
We got
they have a legitimate studio over there with 4 mics and whatnot.
but we had to stick with my basement. I don't mean to brag here, but my basement is pretty sick. We have a pool table. We have a punching bag.
We have a pool.
Yeah, I wish.
Pool table. We have a punching bag.
We have a drum set. We have
For any of you who've heard of the back rooms, it kind of looks like that. There's always a door that leads to another door somehow. I don't know how it works. I'm pretty sure we're 3 layers deep right now. We haven't left in a month.
And hey, you know what? The more doors you open, you're gonna end up in a circle. Hey,
we're stuck. Send help.
Oh, speaking of internet horror, like the back rooms, the first thing we'd like to talk about would be the our own SCP list. You could call it.
Can I explain? Because this is my list.
Go ahead.
Explain what an SCP is.
He sort of created
the
it.
gatekeeper, if you will.
Like, I'm sure all of you know what the SCPs are, but we decided to make our own based on just like people we've known throughout high school.
Yeah. So an SCP is essentially like, you describe it as like a creature, kind of like a made up creature that has like supernatural abilities. There's like a whole like website. People will put their own creations on the internet.
It's mostly indie horror writers that are trying to get their foot in the door.
So pretty much what happened is that like when we went to high school, there's just like so many interesting faces, like so many just funny things.
Interesting is a way to put it.
Yeah. So we just figured like we should just make our own SCP list because that'd be like so funny, just having like all these crazy kids just on as like these supernatural creatures, you know?
You say kids like we're any better.
They probably have an SCP list of their own, like, those 5 losers that, like, sit at the table.
Yeah. Those 5 guys that stand at someone's locker every single morning.
Well, I mean, we weren't really that stuck out. It's just, you feel like you're picking on someone until you realize how when we graduated high school, you realize how absurd the situation actually was.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, like, just, for example, like, one of the more mild ones was our friend's bad smelling car, which was
oh boy,
which
Start
was
the big ones.
A Ford 2006 SUV, which by God I don't even know if life could like sustain in there for more than a day.
Listen, I've been in that car. It is like I'm sorry, but it is there's hair everywhere. There's like there's just stuff all over the ground. Like it's like the messiest car I've ever been in. Like it's just so uncomfortable.
Now we're not gonna say any names, so that's why we have nicknames for each one of these SCPs.
Yeah, we're never gonna say any names, right? I'm cutting that out.
I mean, okay. Well, we do have one very special SCP that we want to talk about in this episode. Pete, you want to talk about that?
Yes. Okay. So. It's no secret, if you're a follower on my Instagram, you know this, that I'm a huge Super Smash Bros.
Plug your Instagram.
Yeah, Nintendo Universe
it's already plugged.
Yeah, well, in case you haven't seen it, Nintendo.universe on Instagram. It's a great account. I post moveset ideas. I post Nintendo content. It's a fun time.
It's actually a pretty good page. I'm not even joking.
He doesn't even have a Switch. So,
yeah.
All right, where's our checks?
Yeah, I don't even play a Switch or Smash, but, like, I'm still a fan of it.
Okay, so anyway, this is around the time when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, like, first came out. And, I mean, I'm sure, again, my followers can understand that I was, like, very excited about this. It was all in my mind, like, who I'm going to main, who I'm going to play as, like, who's going to be the DLC. Gino for Smash, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, there we go.
We'll get into that later.
So, anyway, we have this drawing class. That's a whole story in itself. But anyway... There's this one kid who sat next to me, okay?
Actually, all 3 of us are in that drawing class.
Yeah,
exactly. All 3 of us. It used to be me, and then PJ, he randomly got switched in, and then Michael joined, and, like, that turned into, like, the best thing.
I don't remember doing a single drawing for that class, yet somehow still getting an A. If you don't turn in the drawing, you're gonna get a D.
Yeah, with that class,
Oh,
each week we had to do a freaking drawing of, like, 1 to 2 hours worth. And I would, like, before each class, I would just draw something for, like, 10 minutes, and I would get full credit for that.
Didn't you have your mom draw you something once? And she's like, wow, this is really good.
Yeah, I just grabbed my mom's art book, and, like, I had like, a beautiful flower in it. I'm like, I would just hand this in.
You drew sands at one time.
Yeah, I drew sands.
You got in trouble for it.
And our freaking teacher, she's like, she wanted it to be legit, so she's like, have a family or friend comment on that picture. So I had PJ comment on me drawing a drawing of sands, and PJ wrote my favorite video game character, and my teacher actually called me out on it. It's like,
this wasn't a family member. Who wrote this?
all I said was like, my friend wrote that. She's like, okay.
We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
let's go back to the main.
So back to the kid. So we're sitting there doing our work.
So it's a table of 4.
Yeah.
It's the 3 of us and it.
And we've actually known it for a while, or at least I have.
So
At least 10 years.
So we're gonna give him the codename Incineroar, and I'll tell you why now. So pretty much what happened is I'm sitting there, doing my work, blah blah blah, it's whatever. I just hear kind of like faintly like Incineroar. So I hear that, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going crazy. I think this kid is saying Incineroar I'm playing this game way too much. It was like I said, it was like a month after the game came out. I'm like,
It's like a Smash brain rot.
exactly. I'm like, Smash is taking over my mind.
I am loony.
I am loony.
I think this kid's saying Smash characters. I'm going crazy. So I'm like, I'll ignore it. Keep doing my work. He keeps going. Incineroar. It's getting louder and louder. Incineroar.
By the way, the entire time, me and Michael are just pretending like we don't hear anything.
And like,
Well, he's like powering up. He has to like build up.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Like powering up. But like, dude, this kid, like, I dealt with him within like the first couple months of that semester, and I just like did not talk to him at all.
so anyway, yeah. So he's getting louder. Incineroar. I just look at him. He looks back at me. He goes, Incineroar. I'm like, what? Incineroar. Like the Pokemon. Yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Do you know him? Yeah, I know Incineroar. Yeah. And he starts like listening to characters like, you know Roy? You know Bayonetta? You know Bowser? You know Mega Man? You know Little Mac? He pronounced my name wrong. He goes, you know Chrome? I'm like, it's actually Chrome, but yes. Yeah, Incineroar. I'm like, so from that moment on, like, that was like partially inspiration of like, so the SCP list pretty much describes a creature who just like mutters Incineroar to himself. When Marco's here, he needs to tell the Roy story because that's.
No, I actually know the Roy story.
Do you want?
Although we can't say Roy. We can. For anyone who's listening to the podcast, that may have just been a very long beep, but we're gonna call it Roy.
Roy's our
so,
boy.
This creature persisted for the past 5 years prior to this event. When we in middle school went to middle school with the same boy and another boy named Roy, who was a very uneventful individual, to say the least. I have never heard his voice once in my life, and that is probably a blessing in disguise. But.
And like, for some reason, Incineroar, he just like became obsessed with Roy.
No, and it would get to the point where we would hear Roy, and it was so strange because I was like 14 at the time, and you have this like knuckle drag. Oh, I can't say that. You'd have this caveman walk around as Incineroar. No, you only be saying Roy at the time, but same idea. So, cut forward to freshman year of high school. The same kid's here. He's not saying Roy anymore. He's talking, quietly to himself in the corner still. No one's paying attention because we haven't learned to deal with it yet, and we just ignored it outright. He's in the corner, minding his own business. He leaves to go to the bathroom, and he leaves his notebook behind. And our fourth friend, Marco, opens it up and inspects it because he's just feeling nosy, I guess. He opens it up. Across every page of this $150-page one subject notebook, there lies the name Roy written in hundreds of fonts and hundreds of sizes and hundreds of styles over and over again, lining each page until it was full with just the name repeating Roy. Yeah, we have a picture somewhere. And it haunted me to the very day. And he comes back to the room to see that someone's going through his notebook, and clearly he's like annoyed in some capacity. He picks a chair up and holds it over his head. He's going, Roy.
He threw it. He threw it across the room and left.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I didn't know that part.
That's what happened. Is that the teacher wasn't there, and then he's like he picked up the chair, yelled Roy, threw it, and just walked out.
Wait, how many years ago was that? Before
that was
our
freshman year.
Freshman year.
So I was 3 years ahead.
2016.
So fast forward 3 years, we're all in our drawing class, and like
he's still going.
The same patterns.
Like he still hasn't forgotten about this Roy.
Oh yeah.
Like at times, I'm like one time, like class was almost over, and we all look over at his notebook, his drawing notebook.
He's writing Dennis the Menace.
He's writing Dennis the Menace and also Roy, and he's like. Before that, he was like scratching his marker or pencil or whatever on the table, and then oh my god, this guy's.
For the record, I just want to mention that. So, like we said, we knew this kid for a while, and I personally knew him in like 5th grade, and he was kind of weird, but he was sane. He was just like a normal kid.
Yeah.
Something happened from elementary school to high school where he just got obsessed with Roy.
Not even high school, middle school.
Yeah, that too. Where he got obsessed with this Roy kid, he got obsessed with Incineroar. It's like something happened we don't know. But he just like went insane.
Some calamity befell upon him to the point where not only his mind was in shreds of what it formerly was, he has lost all form of sanity and refers to fictional and non-fictional people over and over again, seemingly endlessly, because every time I saw him, he was doing one of the three names. He's like, Roy, Incineroar, Denny the Many. Denny the Many. And then he would ask us, Denny the Many. What? Denny the Many. What do you mean?
Do you know him? Do you miss him?
Yeah, do I know the fictional character? Yeah. Do you miss him?
do you miss him? Like, we lost him.
And like,
dude,
there would be times in that class where it would just be us three talking to each other about like other classes that we shared, and then we would be talking about like our physics class or something like that, and then we would be talking about the teacher, and he'd be like, "Good guy though."
Yeah, and then him too. Like, do you know him? Do you miss him? Like, no, I have him like fourth period.
My theory: he did play hockey. He probably took one too many to the head. Not gonna lie.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, according to some other SCP containment staff, I guess it'd be the appropriate analogy here. But he was always like this. But I doubt that.
Like, he was, like I said, he was weird. Like, he was sane, kind of, but weird. Then just like it just went off.
Yeah.
Just one day.
I don't know what happened between those freaking 5 years.
It's amazing.
Like
Says, speaking of patterns like that, what's another yearly thing that we do around here in Boston?
oh well, let me tell you about that.
Awesome segue, by the way.
Awesome segue.
Supernatural, no scripts.
Now, currently, at the time that we're recording this, it's been like 1 week.
Actually, it's been exactly 1 week.
It's been exactly
Yeah, that's
1
right.
week since PAX East 2020. I mean, unless you go to Thursday. But we went on Saturday and Sunday. Or at least I went on Saturday. PJ went Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because it's always like, I feel like, I don't know, like controversial, like what the word is. Like, what's your honest opinion on this year's PAX compared to other PAXs?
This PAX, I'm not gonna lie, little disappointing.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. And like, with that, I think like at first I didn't really care about it, but then when we got there, I realized that like how the Sony booth was just gone. They just completely pulled.
Well, it was
out.
still on the map.
It was still on the map.
like the venue map.
It was like a last minute
Yeah.
decision with them.
No, it was like even like who's the mayor of Boston again? Oh, who cares?
Yeah,
But, but he was like Sony, please, you'll good.
They had Final Fantasy though. That's sick. I didn't play it though. Okay.
Yeah, who does? I'm pretty sure
They have Final Fantasy everywhere.
I'm pretty
It's
sure-
always on the lanyards. They always freaking sell those.
Final
foam
Fantasy is probably a money laundering scheme. Cause I've never met someone who's actually played a Final Fantasy game, yet they're one of the biggest selling franchises.
Okay, Final Fantasy 7 is pretty good though.
swords. Yeah, 7. Have you guys seen the new rematch?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what I'm talking about.
wait. So this year was Final Fantasy 7. What was last year? It was Final Fantasy 14 Part 17 remastered or something like that.
Okay, so but honestly,
The new one does look sick.
honestly,
I'll say that.
this is probably one of my favorite years at PAX. Not so much because of like,
The events.
but more so like just what we did. So I'll tell the story because this is like probably my favorite story of PAX so far. So every year, like it's always like we have this like joke where like we want to like kind of like make our names, put our names out there. Like so, what we would do is when we're waiting in line, they'd have beach balls. They'd be like toss around like at a concert, you know?
Yeah, to keep everyone entertained while on the line.
So one year we had the grand idea. How about, because we had pictures that we're gonna have like the famous people there sign like as signatures. So I was saying like we got the idea. How about we tape one of these pictures to the balls and just start like sending them around and see what happens.
we did that last.
You guys
year's
done that
PAX.
2 years in a row now, right?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, in the picture that we did last year. If anybody knows that picture of like, it's like a drawing of Markiplier.
Oh, it's
And
Markiplier fan art.
Markiplier fan art. He's in bed and he's saying "Slow down, baby" or something like that.
You can guess where that was going.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
I
did
don't
this.
know why we decided to do that.
It's funny.
It was funny, but it was mostly because some other kid at our high school, and I'm not gonna say his name. He told us to do it, and we just went with it because
It's so
it was like the meme at the time.
No, but so the thing is we couldn't do it on Saturday because the line was way too big and we got stuck outside.
Oh, another thing, we're never going Saturday again.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, Fridays or Sundays only.
No,
Honestly,
I say Friday and Sunday this year or next year.
Do not go Saturday. It is ridiculously
mistake of my life.
busy.
not only was it packed, there was nothing to do.
There was nothing to do unless you want to wait in a freaking line for
Yeah,
3
lines
hours.
wait. Full.
The food sucked, and the infection rate was
Yeah.
all the way up. Yeah, stupid coronavirus thing. The really big thing in Boston, not really to get into it, but it's like, it's like getting to be a thing around here, and it's so annoying. Like, Anthony, you've had classes canceled.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah.
I've had classes canceled. I've gotten numerous emails from my school talking about the like it's still at like a low rate, but like still like be on high
at
alert.
risk.
But like, why am I having school? And like our first case, we had a case at our school, but the kid who brought it with him, he's in like I don't know
Quarantine.
I think he's in quarantine, but like I don't know why I'm at school right now.
It's not at my school, but the kids there cough all over everyone. It's disgusting. So anyway, back to
Your school is just full of disgusting slime monsters.
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly. So me and Rob, which is our fifth friend, we went there Sunday, and so Rob was no help because
Well, no, let's talk about Saturday first.
Well,
okay.
Saturday's the day that all of us went. Like, the main group, that's who we went.
We all went Saturday, and like before PAX, like if you guys ever been to PAX before, there's always people outside of the convention either selling tickets or they want to
They're
buy.
scalping.
Scalpers.
Yeah, they're trying to buy your tickets. And like we're walking for like blocks until the convention, and it's gonna be like anybody selling their tickets, anybody
yeah, you know,
selling
like
tickets.
I came all this way. Screw the convention. Here's my ticket. I'm just gonna go home.
Yeah,
See ya.
yeah, pal. I'm gonna go all the way to freaking PAX East just to sell my ticket.
Like imagine like traveling on planes, just being like, nah, you know what? Nah, I don't want to go to
Well,
PAX.
imagine one of those jabronis stealing your ticket after you fly here.
Like here's the thing, PAX East, it's only in one place and on the East Coast. So probably some guy came all the way from New York to come to the closest PAX. He went to the one in Boston just for some guy to be like, you want to sell your ticket?
Like,
yeah, sure, I'll sell my
yeah.
ticket. I'll go right back to NYC right now.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I hate my friends. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of what Marco was anyway.
Screw this. All right, should I talk about Sunday?
No, let's talk about Saturday.
Well, yeah, let's get some.
All right, we'll just get talking then.
So about 7 a.m. we all meet up at our friend's house. It was pretty good. We went with two other kids who we will not name, although they are very nice people. We got on a bus. We go there. Now, anyone who lives in Boston knows that the best train to get always is the Red Line. The Red Line, fastest train, least amount of people, always on time, and so it's always shut down on weekends because if Boston wasn't under construction, it wouldn't be Boston.
They hear PAX, they just blow up the train tracks.
And like we're not even joking. Like it's always a thing every single year. It's like, oh, PAX is a thing. Yeah, you guys are not gonna take a train.
I mean, if we go it's only a weekend thing because they have to replace the soundproof.
For the past 4 years, they've done it. Like every year we've gone, the train doesn't work. We have to take the shuttle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean the shuttle isn't a bad thing.
But it smells bad.
Oh, it does smell bad because it's full of people on their morning commute, and I feel so rude because I'm hyped up, I'm ready to go to this convention, and then you have like Jim 2 seats down. He's like,
Another thing.
Go to my 9-to-5 job, man. I hate this.
Here's the thing about PAX. We all wake up super early. I couldn't even sleep. Like the night before, I couldn't even sleep till like 1 a.m.
Oh yeah,
And I woke up like 30 minutes before my alarm, which was like at 6:30. Michael, he couldn't even sleep. Period.
Nah, I didn't.
He just got zero sleep.
I woke up every like hour. Honestly, like it was rough. Like
Is it like it's not the anxiety of the situation though? It's
honestly,
like
I
the
think
preparation.
I think it's the excitement.
yeah, more so
honestly.
excitement for me.
Well, I'd say like I have a bad problem with like sleeping past deadlines, and I think that's my main concern.
yeah.
Because
We know about that.
I mean, like I love PAX so much, and like you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
It happens once a year. So
to be
you
fair,
are
it does
just the
take
best
4 hours to get in and out of Boston on a weekend.
That's true.
You can say, well, we were on borderline just telling Rob to just drive into Boston and park there.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's always so hard.
Would have taken just as long.
With our friend group, it's always that's like a main theme. It's so difficult to get everyone at the same place at the same time.
Not only because we're all have conflicting schedules, but because 3 out of 5 of us have like no neurons firing whatsoever, and it switches constantly.
Like this is probably the first time all 5 of us has been together in a place in like months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't say. No, actually, maybe.
Yeah, months.
Certain time.
So another thing about PAX this year that was exciting is that maybe not exciting, but it was just like a change of scenery. Is that I cosplay as Terry Bogard. You probably
I wanted to cosplay, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And you know what really got me, threw me for a whirl, was one of a Nintendo Universe fan actually meeting PJ.
Yeah, maybe he's listening to this right now. I don't know. Yeah, so I'll mention that.
I mean, if he's that dedicated, he can spot you in public.
Yeah, I'll mention that real quick.
Shout out to that fan.
So I'll mention that. This was Sunday, but I'll mention it real quick. Was so I posted my cosplay on my page. So the thing is, like, I don't know who's listening to this outside of it, but like my page, it's not that big. Like I have like maybe like 2.5K followers. Like it's like there's definitely bigger pages out there. Like it's a decent following for what it is, but it's not like huge. I've never once in my life expected to go up to someone or go to a convention and have someone say to me, "Oh, hey, you're the guy who runs that Nintendo account." But on Sunday, me and Rob, we go in line, and by some miracle, this kid in front of us just turns around and he goes, "Hey, are you I'm thinking he's gonna say Terry Bogard because I was just as him. Are you Nintendo Universe?" It blew my socks off. Honestly, I was like,
blew my socks off. Wow, my bloomers are thrown for a whirl here.
yeah, but I was like,
What year is it?
I was like, oh yeah, too. That's me. I'm Nintendo Universe. That's me. It's like, oh yeah, I follow your page, and like the kid next to him like follows my page too. Like it was so surreal. So like,
Any chicks?
oh yeah.
Tons of girls, right?
Yeah, my life's a movie, boys. But it's like I never once in my life expected of how small the page is for someone to come up to me and say, "You're the guy who runs an Instagram page." Like you feel like a celebrity almost. Like,
Well, I mean, like, getting called out for something that you've done, like, you definitely feel more
In like a
celebrity,
positive way.
I don't know. It was such a small
I
thing
think
too.
even like in a negative way, you'd feel like some sort of like, yes, I am.
Like at least I'm known by
Hey, are you the f*** that runs that podcast? Yeah. Well, big fan. Nice to meet you.
Big fan, nice to meet you.
fan of your content.
Hey man, love your content.
The four shitheads that are in the kid's basement. All right, so I'll tell the ball story now because we've gotten to that point. So anyway, like I said, we always print out these pictures and we tape them to the beach balls, and we'll.
Oh yeah, that's where that story was going.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll print out these funny pictures. This year we had, everyone called it Masahiro Sakurai. It was a big black sweaty guy. It wasn't exactly that, but it's the same idea. We had Jeremy Renner. That's a whole like inside joke. We had Sal Volcano from Impractical Jokers.
Well, the whole inside joke is that he's your running mate for the 2020 election.
Oh yeah,
isn't
exactly.
It?
And then there's also bald nostalgia critic, or beardless, glassesless, bald nostalgia critic.
Chemo nostalgia.
Yeah,
critic.
Yeah, I guess you call that.
nostalgia
Like
critic.
like he has no body hair, like no eyebrows, like he legit looks like.
Like an egg?
He looks like a ghost from Ghost. No, he looks like one of Casper's uncles.
I was just gonna say he looks like a cancer patient, but
Well, I mean, yeah, he's going. I mean, like, I hope he's okay. But,
I hope he's okay. But that picture looks like he's a cancer.
All right, we're cutting that out.
Now, if you're on Instagram or on Reddit, you would know who you might know some of the pictures that we're talking about.
yeah, it's Mimi kind of whatever Reddit.
Yeah. So anyway, back last year we had a whole group of people. Like it was all like 5 of us or however many there were. Who like one of us had the ball, one of us was taping it, one of us was like writing stuff down. So this year it was just me and Rob, and Rob didn't really want to help. Like he's like, "You're doing this by yourself," because he was like kind of, I guess, embarrassed of like all the funny pictures.
I'm not Vicky's fucking helping with your Vicky's fucking stupid prank.
So anyway, because no one really noticed like last year, like people saw it, like laughed and moved on. But this year in particular is really cool because what happened was, so I grabbed the ball so what happened was, the ball came directly to me. It was a miracle because Rob wasn't gonna help, so I had to do it all by myself. I grabbed the ball, I just dropped to the floor. And I'm like, I had to just go really quick. I'm like pulling out the pictures, taping it on, and everyone around me is like, "What's this kid doing with?"
Sounds like you're like doing like surgical procedures like in the field of
I
the
mean, it
military.
might as well be. Oh my god, the first year we done that, it was like so much pressure on us because like I feel like you gotta do it so quick.
Exactly.
It's like a movie scene and it just slowly pans in.
Because,
Everything
like,
fades out.
if you-
all you hear is
Yeah, exactly. What I felt last year was like whenever you see someone like hogging one of the balloons or one of the balls, everyone will start screaming at you.
Yeah, like tension.
So that's why you
rise
sort of
up.
have to be quick.
because you're the party pooper. That's why.
Yeah, but so going off of that, this year was different because when I got the ball and was taping the things on, everyone around me saw it and found it hilarious. Like
They were like cheering him on.
yeah, and people were cheering me on. They're like, "Oh my god, it's so funny!" And like I sent it out. The kid who saw me was recording me do it. It was so funny. And what ended up happening was usually people want the balls for themselves because they want to put their Instagram, their Twitter, or they want to write something funny.
Or their phone number.
Yeah, but this year people were taking the balls and passing them down. It was so funny. They're passing them down to me. They're like, "Give it to the Terry Bogard. He has pictures. And I keep taking out these like funny pictures like Jeremy Renner, Sal from Practical Jokers, and we're taping them on the ball, and like everyone's like cheering on, like, "Yeah, send it." Like, so the entire like half the line was just like supporting me, and that was so funny that like it's not only our joke now, it's like the entire line's joke. And like I remember I saw someone like holding up a picture of Jeremy Renner and like showing everyone. People were cheering. Like it was so surreal. Like I was so happy that we managed to leave such a lasting impact. And it was funny because I talked about it on my Instagram how we had the pictures, and people from PAX actually came back to my post and were like saying like, "Oh, dude, you made the line so fun. Like thanks for making the line enjoyable." And it's just so fun that like we left a lasting impression on PAX. Like I feel like that's always the goal, is to leave some sort of impression on PAX.
We're like local cryptid, kinda.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that ties back to SCPs. Wow, isn't that wonderful? So that was Sunday, right? That was definitely Sunday.
That was
I
Sunday.
don't remember any of that.
No, talking about PAX in general, what I think makes it great is definitely the games that are coming out this year. Like, I'm sure everyone...
And I think that's what made it the worst. Was it like no games like were really that exciting besides maybe like Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal.
Yeah.
Likewise, either way.
Like,
depending on how
those
you feel.
booths were insanely big this year.
Yeah.
Oh, what was the line wait for like Animal Crossing? It was like
2
this
hours.
point onwards, 3 hours.
Dude,
It
was
ca-
it's like a 2-hour line just to get a picture with Isabel.
It capped right when we got there. And that's the thing, is that Nintendo only had Animal Crossing this year. So that's what Michael was getting at. It's like, there wasn't too many games. Like, there was a lot of good... Like, there was a couple solid ones, but not...
A lot of indie ones that we never heard of.
It was...
I'm a big fan of usually the indie games, usually the usually the tabletop games. I'm a big
We
fan
like
of.
the indie and tabletop ones. Like we're super open to it. It's just like, you know.
But oh my god, the people who work at those booths, honestly, the worst people on the planet.
Worst
Oh,
people.
God.
Alright, I was exhausted. We were about to leave, and I was like, I'm not coming back. Let's just have some fun here. First thing I do, I go up to one of the tabletop things, and a huge thing with tabletop games is the dice.
Yeah.
People love the dice. And
Oh,
so-
this one has 20 sides.
Oh, this one has 20. This one has 100. Woo! This one's just a spear.
This one's just a ball.
And they do their job. They get paid for it, and good for them. But I was leaving, and they were not having fun. And I think my favorite
You
part
can't
was
blame them too, because they were just dealing with bullshit all
well,
day.
my goal was let's just spice up their day a little bit, give them a fun story. I already looked like a moron going into PAX because I walked in with no backpack, no money in my pocket, wearing my Ozzy Osbourne sunglasses, and my hair down, like, my hair is super long, and I looked homeless or annoying or both. I go up to one of the guys who's working behind the counter. Hey man, what are those? Oh, they're dice. Oh, yeah. He's just like having none of it. Like, he's so like in a bad mood.
He's
like,
so over it.
Yeah.
no,
the
because he's
dice.
been working since like 7 a.m. It's like 5 in the or it's like 4 in the afternoon now. I'm like, hey, what are those? Oh, those are dice. Oh, how much? Prices on them. All right. How they taste though? And I think he just kind of was like, all right, they taste fine. I don't know, whatever.
Some of them were actually good sports about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
some of
well,
them were.
just don't chew on them. Just swallow, So this one tastes like
I
strawberry.
don't know if they didn't get the joke or they weren't understanding that it was a joke or something.
Some of them liked it. Some
I
were
think
like...
the worst response was the Magic the Gathering guy.
Oh, yeah.
Is a old guy with a beard who worked at the Magic the Gathering card selling booth. I didn't even mess with him. I asked him, "What's the most expensive card you got?"
Get the hell out of
He
here.
like snarled at me. Oh, and I think my favorite highlight of it, as a rose and a thorn, my favorite highlight of PAX was meeting Ricky Berwick.
Oh.
Or quote unquote meeting Ricky Berwick.
Yeah.
Because we turn around and there's suddenly a man with muscular dystrophy like at my ankles, and I'm like, we all say, "Oh, it's Ricky Berwick," and he made a sound which I can only describe as like growling.
Well,
Either growling or his freaking
Well,
what are those freaking scooters called?
revving like.
Yeah, it was like the revving of his freaking.
well,
No,
Tyler
he like
scooter.
well, we should mention the part where I turned around and got very excited and yelled, "Oh my God, it's Ricky Berwick!" And he jumped and like got scared by it because I was very excited.
He freaking swerved his scooter.
You like shoved your hand in his face. Like, oh my God, it's Ricky Berwick.
Ricky Berwick.
I'm sorry, I got very excited.
Okay,
I turned around.
For all those who don't know what Ricky Berwick looks like,
Go on Twitter and search up Ricky Berwick.
he has some sort of muscular degeneracy disease. He's not a degenerate though. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
And
he's
he,
actually
he
pretty
plays it.
funny
He's
guy.
awesome. He's awesome.
He plays it off to his best. Like he plays it off really well.
Like,
and
use it as a joke. Like, he'll use it as jokes in his
he
videos.
is the joke. He
He's
knows
a living meme, basically.
Like,
he's a really, really nice guy. But oh my god, we saw it. It's like, oh my god, it's Ricky Berwick. And then we shouted that. And
by
suddenly,
mistake for the record.
a convention center full of people suddenly turned towards this celebrity who, to the layman, looks like a man with muscular dystrophy in a motorized scooter. So it looked like we were making fun of him, and he like growled at us. It's like an animal. It's like I was like,
Well, no, I'm sure that people knew who he was. I mean, it was just kind of like shocking when this, kid dressed as Terry Bogard just yells, "Yo, Ricky Berwick!"
No, Ricky, he went all 4 days, right?
I think so.
well, yeah. Who else was there? Oh. My favorite podcast, the Please Stop Talking podcast. 2 of the hosts were there. They lied about what time they were going to be there. Still mad about that. Maybe I showed up an hour late.
No, who else did we see on Saturday? We saw.
We saw my favorite.
Sauce.
We saw Vine Sauce
Oh
Vinny,
yeah, Vine Sauce.
which was a very cool find that I was totally caught off guard by.
Yeah.
Well, similar for me.
Yeah, PJ went on Sunday. He met.
He's kind of obscure. Pat the NES punk. He's kind of like the angry video game nerd, if you know who that is. Like,
But even more niche.
yeah, they're like counterparts at some point. Like, they were really popular like together back in the past, like in like 2011, 2012, and like he was honestly pretty cool. I went up to there's no line surprisingly. Like I remember when he was really popular. But there was like no line, so I just went straight up and started talking to him.
His meeting thing like started at like 10, and PJ met up with him at like 11, and there was just no line. Like,
I mean,
it's not even funny. It's just kind of sad.
Yeah, honestly,
I've
it was
gone
sad.
every Sunday. I've gone Sunday every year up until this point, and like it's always nice to go Sunday, but like there's no one there. Everyone's gone. All the people who work there are just done.
Yeah, but it was nice to see him. Like he recognized my Terry Bogard costume. It was funny because he was signing my bag. And, okay, so a popular thing that's been, or not a popular thing, but a recurring thing that's been happening in our Discord chats that I always made the joke that, like, I'm, like, seriously considering dropping out of college because, like, it's just so difficult.
Yes, we would never.
No,
we would never imply that was real. We would only joke about it 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But here's the thing. The 3 people who are talking right now, we all go to college, and, like, I can sort of understand why PJ wants to drop out.
Well, no, being in college, everyone who's out of college is like, "Yo, I would never drop out. Oh, I would never."
Yeah.
But
Doubtful.
when you're in the same lens, it's like, "Drop out, get out of here, man."
Yeah.
Honestly,
We still can.
that's another podcast for another day where we can just talk about like just dealing with college.
Speaking of another podcast, I'd like to segue to a new topic.
Wait, I haven't even finished my story yet.
I don't care.
No, I'm finishing my story.
Finish your
Relax. Anyway, so I went to go sign.
Wonder how I'm gonna edit that.
It's natural. When I went to go sign my bag, he's like, "Oh, Wentworth Institute of Technology. What are you studying?" "Oh, computer science." "Oh, yeah. Like I went for computer science too. I dropped out. It's too hard." I'm like,
Don't blame you.
I mean, yeah, funny you say that. It was so funny because like we've been talking about it for the past like week, and then he's like, "Yeah, I dropped out." I'm like, "Nah, not a bad idea."
Was it really worth it?
What?
Cutting me off.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you cut me. I had to finish my
we're
story.
dropping the facade episode 1. Okay.
Oh my god.
See, we're already fighting episode 1. Continue.
Okay, continue. I was gonna say, speaking of podcast, I don't know what platforms this will be on. Definitely YouTube and SoundCloud.
And Castbox, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we'll do Castbox.
Yeah, I like Castbox.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Facebook.
Facebook video. They'll only take 80% of our revenue.
Yeah.
Actually, they didn't even let you get revenue up until like last week or something.
If this podcast goes well, we'll be able to do the video version on YouTube where you can just see us in a
Sitting
room.
in mommy's basement.
Sitting in
Mommy's
this
basement.
small room in the basement with all this shit here.
Yeah, and then we go into the next room and there's like 50 more.
Yeah.
That's what the SCPs are, guys. That's
Now
why I
with-
keep them.
Other platforms, one of them comes to mind that we're definitely not gonna do.
My initial
No,
goal
wait,
was
Michael. He is the producer. He's sort of the one who's gonna be dealing with all the editing and uploading to the different platforms.
well,
And
maybe
Michael,
the producer or the editor.
Yeah. Well, same thing.
Anyway.
We just heard some banging on the ceiling.
So that mic definitely picked it up.
Yeah, probably.
That's
Okay,
haunted.
now with iTunes, Michael, you want to explain that a bit?
All right. So the initial stretch goals were to get it on Spotify, which is completely realistic, just not in the near future, and Apple Music, which would be a huge one. However, I forgot it's Apple we're dealing with.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And we all have iPhones.
Yeah.
So everyone has an iPhone. I
Yeah,
love.
we've all used
Apple is a great company until it isn't.
Yeah,
And
we've
this
all
is one of
used
those
Apple
isn't moments.
podcasts.
Coming up on that, let me read you the Apple Podcast content requirements list, aka the reason we're not on iTunes.
Let's hear them.
Your content, including your show's artwork, title, show, notes, descriptions, and media, does not include the following. Content depicting graphic sex, violence, gore, illegal drugs, or hate themes.
Oh, there we go. That's all of our ideas.
Well, all right, and that's the end of the show, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Moving on. Content that be construed as racist, misogynistic, or homophobic.
Well, that one I can agree with.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, if it's well, I mean, you can say construed, like, oh yeah, here's my wife. Whoa, women? Nah, none of that.
Nah, dude, you're being misogynistic.
Nah, none of that. Get out of here. But we're not. We wouldn't depict any of the content anyway. But it gets a little worse. Self-censored languages in titles, subtitles, or descriptions. You can't add asterisk to a title, even if it's coming from like another platform. So, let's say we're coming from Spotify, and the episode title is eating.
Yeah.
My favorite.
Oh, Spotify. Oh, yeah, go right ahead. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure you mark it explicit so little niños don't get on there. But then Apple iTunes is like, what did you just say? What?
Yo, buddy, you can't say that. You gotta get out of here.
Steve Jobs comes from his grave and kills you.
No, he actually comes back for the next point, which is irrelevant, non-descriptive, or spam content, which is so vague that...
So if we're irrelevant, we get kicked off?
Wait, what does that even mean?
Irrelevant in what context? Non-descriptive to, like... I don't understand what they mean by that. Non-descriptive? That's such a...
So if you're telling me...
It's such a vague term.
If you're telling me I want to go... brains out right now, and they're not gonna allow that.
Well, like if we name our podcast like the Eating Podcast, where we do nothing but eating for an hour, like
that's not even.
You didn't eat. That's not eating.
You didn't eat.
That's just
they kick us off.
at that
they
point.
kick us off.
Or spam, which I mean, yeah, if we're uploading the same episode 5 times, but to be fair, who would watch the same episode 5 times? Referencing.
Yeah.
We can't mention JoJo.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, if Marco's here, he'd leave.
Reference to illegal drugs, profanity, or violence. So, referencing the fact that illegal drugs exist, referencing profanity, or referencing violence.
Wait, weed exists?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, no.
And I don't know what kind of sheltered reality Apple's living in, but I don't know how to tell you this, guys, but some people are violent.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're telling me that people actually hit other people?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like it, but it happens.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Yeah, that's not nice.
That was only in Super Smash Brothers.
Smash Bros. Actually invented hitting people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know that Dark Souls invented medieval times?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Wow, everyone's doing their jokes today. Glad I don't have one. Let's see. Third-party contents or trademarks without legal authorization or usage rights.
So we mentioned PAX, we're out of here.
All right, yep, bye.
Yeah.
The Penny
Like,
Arcade
we
Expo.
already checked off like 5 of them.
Well, we checked
can't
off.
even- Yeah.
Well, I mean, have we sworn yet? Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
definitely.
want to mention gore yet.
Um,
Anthony, I want to rip your guts out and eat them like f***ing entrails.
I mean, yeah, that and also we were talking about Doom Eternal, so...
were we?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Well,
Yeah.
that's another trademark.
No.
Done.
Oh, you mentioned Animal Crossing, too. Final Fantasy. Yeah,
So-
we're done.
I'm sure we can get on podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I bet they just won't pay us.
We said...
Well, no, that's the thing. The thing about Apple Podcasts is they actually pay employees to listen to their podcast. Everyone has to get screened before they go up. And unfortunately for us, we're probably going to get if we did try, we'd get the strictest one. Like,
Yeah.
immediately. He's like, I heard the letter F.
Right. Everyone's headphones just burst. We're going to sit there in silence. That's all you can say.
No, I had like glass shattering sound effects or something. And the last one, the terms Apple Inc., Apple Podcast, and Apple Music, iTunes Store, or iTunes.
Right.
So if I have a song on iTunes called the iTunes Melody, done, you're done. If it's called the asterisk, the iTunes Melody.
Right, so if we ever get on Apple Podcasts, that'd just be a miracle.
Well, to be fair, I really don't like Apple that much either. And who uses Apple Podcasts besides the app?
Can we just talk about that for a little bit?
What?
Alright, now, I don't know about other people, but our friend group, we all use iPhones.
Yeah.
And, like, holy dude, our freaking, like, yeah, it's probably, like, the best phone you can probably get now. But, like, I feel like it lacks a lot.
Apple is, like, perfect until it isn't anymore. And
Yeah.
it's like, I just had to get my phone replaced, like, the other day.
Yeah, talk about that for a bit.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Okay.
No, I had
Too
to get...
personal.
I had to get... It's very personal to me. My phone had to get replaced due to a manufacturing error, which means it gets replaced free of charge.
Quote unquote.
Well, they do it on purpose. So I mean, I got my phone free of charge from the insurance, and they get a piece of hunk, basically a paperweight.
Yeah, I will admit, I know my friend Bryce is gonna be listening to this and get pissed at me because I always joke about this. Is that Android, like, they do have better, like, emulation, so you can play, like, Pokemon games and, like...
Yeah, because I mean, like, but who cares? It's a phone.
Yeah. But it's
gonna be playing on your phone.
it's much
hold
better
on.
on Android.
You guys are definitely not going to know about this, but there was a movie director. I don't remember who it was, but he had like a whole thing, like, you know, Shia LaBeouf thing where he sat in front of a green screen for 20 minutes, like, you can do it. He did basically the same thing where he got up, he's like, you think watching movies on your phone is watching movies? You're watching movies on your freaking telephone, like.
Nah, I mean, the only thing I would watch on my freaking phone is, like, YouTube or
I don't
like a show.
actually. I completely have given up on traditional TV and streaming. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even watch like Netflix. Like, I do not like TV at all.
Yeah.
Like, I watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, listen to music. That's my entertainment.
I'm sort of pretty much becoming that way. I mean, I do watch, like, anime every once in a while.
Is that just a millennial thing though? Or wait, we're not even millennial. We're Zoomers.
Yeah, we're Gen Z.
I occasionally will, like, watch Netflix, like, when Castlevania came on, I was like, oh, cool, Netflix. And, like, that's the first time I've been on there in a while.
But, like, the last time I've watched regular TV is The Mandalorian when it came to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch that.
But is it even, that's, like, a streaming service. Is it even, like, TV, per se?
The
No,
the
I
closest
mean-
I ever came to watching TV was when The Witcher ended its first season. That's the closest I came. That's about it.
What I define as TV nowadays is, like, any of those streaming services, and, like, it's where a large audience watches.
Well,
it.
you know,
so, like,
is the problem really getting that bad where we consider Netflix to be like outdated? Because like to the general population, Netflix is like this amazing thing, like it's like a streaming service. It's like the future of like TV and stuff. But it's like, to me, Netflix is like, oh yeah, it's the stand-up variety hour.
I mean,
it's just something everyone has.
Oh, they still make that show about the girl who killed herself. Oh no. Oh, they make the sad horse show. Oh no.
like, I feel like stuff like Disney Plus has much more than Netflix does. Like, I feel like Netflix has a couple good things, but a lot, like, I feel like most of the time I'm trying to find shows on Netflix that just aren't there. Like, it would be like suggestions that are related to the show, but it's like, no, not the show itself.
Well, it's
Go
better
fuck
than
yourself.
it was like 5 years ago. And Netflix is
Dude,
like,
I
oh, do you
would-
like that movie? Well, we have the sequel to it.
I would definitely go back to Netflix 5
Well,
years ago.
I want to watch
'cause, like,
Bruce Almighty. Why do you got Evan Almighty in
I
here?
want to watch Family Guy. They freaking took off Family
Wait,
Guy
are you
a couple
serious?
years ago.
Yeah, it's on Hulu.
No, it used to be on Netflix, and they freaking
Yeah, I know.
took it off.
Oh,
I know.
last
How do you think
year.
I made it through middle school?
Wait, is The Office still on Netflix?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
what
because like
wouldn't it
that's
be?
Okay.
that's a whole personality trait.
Yeah, exactly. You watch Office, you're unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're unique along with the 10 other million people.
No,
who watch
but-
it.
okay.
My mom actually got mad at me that I haven't watched The Office before.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like The Office at all.
What?
I don't like TV.
Oh, that's true.
Office good, TV bad.
Well, shut up. Not like it isn't
No,
TV.
it-
It's the most TV sitcom. Like, yeah, the premise is pretty unique and the characters are likable and the setups are very nice. Like, I don't hate TV. I just can't watch it. I get bored like that. And it's like, what do I do? Because, like, I don't want to commit to watching, like, I know it's very weird. I'd rather a half an hour YouTube video than a half an hour TV episode.
Yeah.
Not because, like, with YouTube and streaming and stuff, you feel like more. I think it has an advantage because you feel more like related to the content creator, like especially streaming where the audience participation is so high.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what draws people into streaming. Like it's like people say like, oh, the community. That's what draws people into streaming. No, it's like the. You like feel where like you can talk to the creator at any time and they can look over and be like, oh, look what this jackass said right here.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about YouTube and Netflix is like YouTube in 30 minutes, you've seen what you need to see and you're done. Netflix is like a dedication. You watch that 30 minutes, now you're dedicated and you need to watch like.
Well, they also expect you to binge watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Michael said, like there's sort of like a commitment involved.
Yeah, once you watch one thing, it's like you're committed.
Yeah.
You have to watch everything now.
Well, I know, because it's like, and then like they try to recommend you shows. They're trying to. I know, I've been trying to get that out of the air.
Trying to get money.
Here comes the money. Oh no, but it's like I can't tolerate shows because like once they like, oh, you like this show, well here's 50 more you'd like, and like here's like more and more, and you have to watch all of them. And it's like Netflix started this like binge culture where we watch whole seasons at a time, and it's like, well, I don't want to watch a whole season of TV. I want to watch maybe an episode to fill some time, but I don't want to be committed to, and then I want to be committed to like a full story, you know. And it's like, well, I want to watch like, it's like, well, especially these new Netflix shows, they're all designed to like every episode's a cliffhanger now. Like episode 1, you're like, okay, that's pretty cool, and then they have a hook for episode 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then you're on the whole season. And I think that's what gets people, because starting episodes like that is like, people will always, there's always like the little addictions that people get, and I think TV is a very healthy outlet.
And like it's not even a bad addiction. It's just what people do. You know, we all watch.
Well, it is, because like you get people 50 years ago who were like, oh, TV will rot your brain, and I mean, yeah, it kind of does, but
it is funny. Like I always think about that, like how people back then like, oh, TV bad, like outside good, and then it was like video games are bad, TV's good. Like it's so funny how people just like get this idea that like
it's a generational thing.
Yeah, something new, something
Oh
bad.
yeah, it definitely is a generational thing. I'm
like
gonna say that.
I feel like I could go on this for hours. I'm not going to, but like, I feel like video games are like much more than like Meet CI. Like I feel like it can be video games can be as influential, if not more, as TV. I feel
You
like
can get so much out
Well,
of
they're
it, more than
definitely
just
culturally
TV or
significant.
it's like they tell their own stories, and it's like it's like like it's just some games, so like an amazing story, and like it's just kind of sad to see people like or old people shit on video games when it's like they can really be something much more than what people in like the media make them out to be, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you always have the violence crowd, which is they shouldn't even be acknowledged, to be honest. Their arguments are weak at most.
But like, who's even like? I mean, I played Dark Souls, and it's not even like that violent. Like, it's swords and like, there's not even like that much.
You know, a really controversial game, which is what we're talking about, was Doom. Like when Doom first came out, people lost their minds.
Doom?
Yeah, people lost their minds when that game came out. You know,
That was
like people were like, "Oh, school shooters, they play Doom." Therefore,
wait, what? People actually said that?
Yeah, no, I
You know
swear.
the Columbine shooters?
Yeah.
They like we trained for this playing Doom.
Right.
And it's like, all right, yeah, my neurons fire too sometimes.
Yeah.
we said we weren't gonna get political, and here we are.
Well, I mean, no, this isn't political.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
stupid.
No,
That's funny.
On Doom, I recently finished the Ultimate Doom, like the classic Doom.
Which is the remastered port of the original.
the
game,
remastered part of it, but like it's still like the classic one. It's fucking good. I cannot wait for Doom Eternal.
Me neither. That's actually coming out, what, like a week?
Yeah, it's like
March 20th.
It's the 7th, like 13 more days.
Yeah,
like,
March
honestly,
20th.
I'm gonna pre-order it in like a couple days.
Honestly? Yeah, me too.
It's what else comes March 20th? Animal Crossing
Hell
New
yeah.
Horizons.
Dude, if there is a crossover in
Can you say this has been the jokes of the past 2 weeks? Hello, can I get a Doom Eternal, please?
Yeah, can I get Animal Crossing?
And you know, it was funny the first dozen times, but after joke 700, they start to wear down.
Die down a bit, you know.
And welcome back from our short break. We just took a little break, a little bathroom break, something like that. What were we talking about? We were talking about video games.
Talking about Doom.
we were talking
about Doom. And
now that brings us to our next segment where we're gonna do our little rec. Pete, do you have any recommendations?
Okay.
explain the
For
segment.
the beautiful people.
Well,
listening?
explain it first.
Here, I'll do it.
All right, one of you explain it.
All right. So every episode, we're going to have a recommendation from the previous one about something that one of us picked. It could be any form of media, like a musical album, a movie, a TV.
Most likely it would be a game, because just like we play video games.
Well, I have a bunch of recommendations. Anthony has a ton, but luckily for him, today, first episode goes to PJ.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
boy.
gonna be taking turns. This one goes to PJ.
Because hopefully my Instagram cast is here, so that'll be fun. All right, well, first, before I get to my recommendation, I just want to mention real quick that I just beat Dragon Quest 11 today. And I just want to say that was like, it's an amazing game. Like, I got into it because the Luminary got into Super Smash Brothers, and like it's just like, it's the pinnacle of an RPG. Like, it's just like, I'm not gonna get into it just because like I don't want any like spoilers. But like it's an amazing game. But anyway, so So my recommendation for this week is going to be Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The 3-year anniversary just came around. A sequel's coming out, hopefully soon, if we're lucky this year. But it's an amazing. What, am I boring you?
No.
But it's one of the best Zelda games so far. It's open world with the puzzles at its finest. It's an amazing Zelda game.
No, I've seen PJ play this game, and it actually does look pretty cool. Now, if I had a Switch, I would probably borrow it from him.
Oh, absolutely.
If I had a Switch, I would borrow the Switch from PJ. Yeah. But I actually have played the game before, and I am more than willing to have a discussion about it next episode, which should come out about a week after this one.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
That's not cut out.
Is that it?
No, it's not.
Is that it?
That's it. I think that's it for our first episode.
Thank you all for watching.
You don't watch an audio, stupid.
Yeah, thank you all for watching. You're watching something right now. You're watching the freaking... I don't know. You're watching something on your screen right now. You're probably on Instagram.
You're staring at that art that Korean girl did.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hope you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and as usual, please have yourself a damn good one.